Welcome again for this lesson, which session, which is dealing with the teacher and the student relationship in the classroom. For the last session, we are talking about the principles of teaching, and for today, we are going on with number 5, which is methods of learning. First of all, when you talk about methods of learning, number 1 is you have to focus on problem solving method. Every time you teach in the class, make sure you focus on to solve the challenge of the pupil. Some of the challenges which face the children at the school, maybe the issue relating if you are teaching about health. Some people, they don't know even how to clean their clothes. Sometimes even during the evening time, if they are in boarding or at school, you teach them on how to wash clothes. It is very simple. You bring clothes, you show on how to wash the clothes. That is to solve the problem. Sometimes also you ask the technical questions in the classroom, maybe by using the riddles and whatever, word problems, which will make them to use their brain to think on how to get the answer. Maybe you teach the entrepreneurship. You have to tell them on how to get the funds and the loans, the resources when the time they are going to start the entrepreneurship. So focus on solving the problems of the learners, of the students. Another is all about a role play method. Sometimes, in order now your lesson to be good, to be effective, you have to make sure you use drama. You can use another techniques. You be a part of the lesson of the drama. You will make them to be active in the classroom to follow the lesson you are teaching them. Another is all about number 3. You have to use storytelling method. You tell the story. You teach. You tell the story. You teach, you tell them the story. So they will be focusing on listening on the story while they are listening on what you are teaching. So if you tell them the story, you have to be creative. The story you are giving them, sometimes they are relating with the topic you are teaching. It will be easy for them now to be active in the class, to listen on what you are teaching. Because no one who will be able to sleep to miss the lesson. So if you are doing you are telling the story, tell the story, it will be easy for them to understand your lesson. Then another is all about the lecture method. Sometimes you tell the story, you teach by telling the story, you explain your own self while they are listening what you are teaching. Also, that is another way of teaching the pupils in the classroom. Another is all about the discussion method. When you talk about discussion method here, you arrange the pupils in groups, but make sure you mix them, those who are slow learners, difficult children, and fast learners, and you have to consider their understanding capacity. Every time they're in groups, make sure you cross-check if what they are discussing is relating with your lesson you are teaching in the class, because you can just arrange the groups, but some of the pupils, they will be changing the topic. Instead of discussing what you have taught them, they will be discussing the issue relating with football, movies, and whatever, but which is not relating with what you are teaching the class. Be careful in that. Then another is all about focus individual, use individual method. Teach one pupil in the class. Sometimes you don't want to focus on the whole class. Teach one person. You teach as a whole, but you find a time where now you will be emphasizing the content through individual person. Teach one person, either a difficult child, a slow learner, or a fast learner. Then another is about field trip method. You go out to teach what you are expected to teach. Maybe you want to teach weather. Sometimes take them out to observe sunshine, to observe wind speed, to observe wind direction, sometimes to see clouds, and if there is time of rain, you can show them that today now you see the rain, and those things now it will help them to understand the world. If the issue of going to study, you are teaching maybe the resources, take them to the forest, to the national parks, they have to see water bodies. Those are some of the things now they have to observe. Then another is all about assignment method. Sometimes you give them the assignment to do at home, or if they are staying boarding during the home, we are talking about homework. Now this assignment you give them, then tomorrow they will bring the answers. So you have to try to measure the answers, and if you have a time, you have to differentiate what they were answering. You read the one who did best and the one who did poorly, so that in the other day now they have to increase effort. So if you compare them, compare the assignment, even without mentioning the name, it will help them now to increase effort, to know how to answer the assignment you have given them. Then another is all about the project method. Sometimes you give the guidelines of the topic you want them to answer, like HIV, then they will be discussing like bilharzia or schistomiasis. Then they will be discussing that topic by following the guidelines you have given. You will build up the spirit of making the research from the environment, so it will be easier for them to understand what you are teaching in the classroom. Then another is all about demonstration method. Sometimes you need them to demonstrate what you are teaching the class. Maybe you are teaching ICT. You bring the computer, the CPU. So you have to open that CPU, you try to connect it while they are looking, and they have to help you on how to connect. Sometimes you want to project things. You bring the projector, show them on how to connect the wire and whatever, so that they can be aware of doing things by their own. Because there is a time you will not be there, so they will be helpful. So thank you very much for listening. For another lesson, we shall discuss about the children's categories of the children in the classroom. Thank you very much.